Hey, welcome to McLean Money Minute with Scott and George. My name is Scott, and
I'm George.
thanks for joining us. Hey, we're gonna have a couple questions, George. You receive calls all the time, and I guess the question number one is when it goes to retirement, people are asking questions. What is one of the questions people are asking you?
So the question for today, we're going to ask you, Scott. So you're going to be put on the hot seat.
No.
When do you think, or when should I take Social Security? We get that question all the time. Scott, what are your thoughts?
You know, we're talking to a massive audience, I think, right now, and as people listen, number one, there's 567 different ways. So the best way versus the second best way could be hundreds of thousands of dollars less for your income. And I think one of the biggest chances
is there a lot of ways to take Social Security?
567 different ways.
Oh, wow.
And one way could actually reduce the amount of money you receive. So one of the areas is, what is your health like? What is your income like?
Well, why does health matter?
Health matters a lot because if you're running a cash flow and you're barely making ends meet, you might want to take it now. Number two, if you're married and your spouse is maybe not feeling well and disabled, or maybe their lights are going dim, if you know what I'm talking out there, maybe you should take it early. So there's a lot of different ways, and we think about it. Maybe you have maybe you have a disabled child, and if they have a disabled child, should they be getting more disability because they have a disabled child, or maybe they've taking care of their children's children. We have some clients right now that have some challenging children, and they have to take care of the grandbabies. So it just depends on your cash flow. Maybe you have a second marriage. Another problem with second marriages is whose Social Security can you take? Can you take your prior husband's Social Security? Can you take your Social Security? Should you perhaps get remarried? And if you get remarried, should you take his or her Social Security?
Scott,
there are so many questions.
That seems very overwhelming. What can someone do who feels overwhelmed? What can they do to help them transition or to make this decision?
You could read a book. Dr. Koklikov has a huge book. It's almost a 1,000 pages. You could study that. Or you could come into our firm. And people could work with us. And no cost, no obligation. But if they came in and work with us, we can ask lots of questions that most people don't. Anybody can go online and look up information. But you know what? You're going to go cuckoo with Google. That makes sense. So when you go cuckoo with Google, the question is you don't make a decision, and no decision is a decision because you're stuck like a deer in headlights.
Analysis
paralysis. Don't make a mistake on this. So if you're thinking about taking Social Security, you probably want to lean on other people's shoulders who does this as a practice. Frankly, if I went for surgery and had knee surgery, I'm not going to go to a back surgeon. I'm going to a specialist who specializes in the Social Security as our firm does. George, great question.
That's a wonderful point. Thank you. Till next time.
Don't miss our minute. George and Scott's Money Minute.